Hi guys, this is my review of the Nightcat hammock tent. This is all set up, so I'll go through really quick how to do this. Just like most hammocks, you put the strap around the tree, bring your hammock and fasten it on to straps. Something different about this hammock I've noticed is that this hammock seems to be a little more stretchy. So if you look, it's really high up. And so people might think, well, I'll never be able to get into that. But if you tip this like this, you tip the edge down, you'll be able to get in. You just kind of sit back and lean into it. This is a 10-foot hammock, and it's pretty comfortable for as short as it is. I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds. I've slept pretty comfortable in this. It's not bad. I like the fact I got this tent because it can not only be a hammock, but if you're hammocking in a place where there's no trees, you can go to ground very easily. So you can take this hammock and flip it completely over without the rain fly. You can flip it completely over without the rain fly and the tie downs here, and it's just a normal hammock. When you flip it over like this and you place the tent poles into it, the bug net pops up. That's another reason why you have to have it kind of high and pretty tight, because it's springy. But what makes it springy is the tension that you put on the hammock is what stands up your tent poles. And I'll point this out while I'm here. You'll notice that here on the end and underneath are two places that you could put tent stakes. I've seen some reviews where they said this tent gets really flat when you lay it on the ground as a tent, but if you were to stake it out in either one of these places, you can control the bend of this bend of the tent pole, and it wouldn't lay out on you. All right, so once you have it set up, you have the tent poles in it, you take the rain fly over. On this side, you just simply put the tent pole into the grommet. Up on the inside, you find this tie down. You tie it down to the tent stake, or to the tent pole. Fasten your rain fly to the straps. You wrap and tighten this down right here, and then underneath the rain fly also has snaps that seal this up. I'll show you the other end because I've done this stuff already on the other end. So there's the tie to keep the water out, and there are the snaps underneath. Okay. You put in your bungee cords and stake those down. That's what keeps your tent level. And then you buckle and snap these and tighten this, and that's what keeps your rain fly snug on there. This happens to be camouflage. You can get it in lots of different colors. Like I said, never really camped in a tent hammock or a hammock like this, but it is very comfortable because it stays spread out a little bit more. I haven't ground camped on this, but to ground camp, all you do is unhook everything, take it to the ground, and then you stake out. Either you can stake out the carbiners, or I suppose you could stake out the loop here. I think it would probably be easier to go with the carbiner and stake out the carbiner. And again, you just have to make sure everything's tight. That's what gets your poles up. If you look inside, there are pockets at both ends, so it really doesn't matter where you put your head. There are tie outs or ties for the rainfly. You can do those, have it down halfway. I've read some comments where they said, you know, there's no tie out for the bug net. I think at night you probably want the bug net zipped up, but if you didn't want the bug net, you can roll it up underneath and it'll sit underneath the rainfly. Okay. I've also seen some comments about the logo. It's not as big, I don't believe, as what it used to be, so it's a little more hidden in at least in the camouflage, right? A little more hidden and out of the way. So again, you can kind of see, I've got it tied up to my kid's playset here, but it still works. The same as the two trees. Like I said, it seems a little high when you set it up, but the hammock is very springy, stretchy, and when you, even at this height, at my weight, when I sit in it, I'm just off the ground. Easy to set in, easy to lay back in, easy to get out of. I'm usually a ridgeline kind of guy, but this doesn't have a ridgeline, so, but it's still pretty easy to get out of after you practice with it a couple times. Like I said, you get in, you just tip the edge, and you tip the edge towards the ground, and you sit in this edge and then roll back into it. Works very well. Okay. Not any problems with this. Everything seems to be pretty well built. Like I said, this is about the second or third time I've had this out, so and I haven't ground camped in it yet, but everything seems to be working as it should. All right, thank you guys.
hammock. Inside you'll see my sleeping bag and my pillow and my blanket. I normally hang my headlamp there, and then it's got 2 pockets on each end. And keep different stuff in there. It's real cozy. And I normally hang some stuff to dry on it. You're making it go away, babe.
Chinese quality, it's best. Thanks, Amazon. Yep. Buy American.